Okay, ayan. Yung mock example, gagawin mamaya, check nyo later sa ating Google Classroom. Sorry kasi yung nagawa ng mock exam is nagawa pa ng thesis kanina, nagla-laboratory pa, kaya hindi niya nagawa. So, wait na lang natin. Sige, debate lang yung ating magre-record. Cloud, rinig mo ako, Cloud. Cloud. Ayan
yes,
na.
ma'am.
So,
Yes,
recording na. Thank you. Sige, Dave, you can start.
Okay, can you hear me na po?
Yes.
ma'am.
Okay. Okay, so before I will start my presentation, I would like to thank the Laguna State Polytechnic University Los Baños campus for inviting me in this significant initiative, especially kay Ma'am Precious for always coordinating with me regarding the schedule. It is an honor to be part of this initiative that is also in preparation for those who plan to take the upcoming licensure examination for fisheries technologies. So start na po tayo. Okay, so before presenting my major topic on the fisheries administrative orders, I will give first the overview of the Philippine aquaculture in the Philippines. This will focus more on the production data of some of the aquaculture species. Okay. So we will start. So before, let us define first what is aquaculture. So according to 8550 or the Philippine Fisheries Code of 1998, as amended by the RA 10654, aquaculture is defined as the fishery operations involving all forms of raising and culturing fish and other fishery species in fresh, brackish, and marine areas. So when we say all forms of raising, it could be in brackish water ponds, yung sa mga ponds po, fish cages. Yan, mga fish ponds and also fish cages and even sa mga fish tanks. So different species require different culture environment. So aquaculture production in the Philippines. So ang Philippine Statistics Authority po or PSA, it is an authorized agency in providing aquaculture production data. So pagdating po sa aquaculture production, kumukuha po tayo ng ating mga data sa PSA. So the latest data issued by the PSA was in 2021, that is last year, since they are updating it annually. So the following are some of the commercially available aquaculture species in the Philippines. So ito po, milkfish, tilapia, mangrove crab, oyster, mussel. So in terms po sa production, in terms po sa volume in metric tons, milkfish is considered as the highest if we are going to exclude the seaweeds. So the mangrove crab, mussel, kung mapapansin niyo po, ang mangrove crab, mussel, and tilapia, consistently yan po. Yan yung mangrove crab, yung parang kulay na, yan po. Ito po yung mangrove crab. And then yung sa shellfish naman po, medyo nag-decrease po tayo sa shellfish. Kasi po, mostly ito pa ay cause ng red tide phenomenon, lack of capital, and some investors, it can generate mga small income lang kasi yun pagdating sa shellfish. So, milkfish production, yan po. So milkfish or Chanus chanus is the Philippines' most commercially important fish species. So from year 2019 to 2021, Ang Region 1 po, ayan, Region 1 po, particularly in Pangasinan, is the top producing province, followed by Capiz, and then third ay yung sa Region 3 in Zambales, and fourth is yung Quezon Province, fifth ay yung Region 11, particularly in Davao Occidental, and the sixth is yung Misamis Occidental in Region 10. So, titingnan po natin kung saang culture environment mas maraming napoproduce ang milkfish. So, yan po. In Region 1 po, majority of the produced milkfish came from marine cages. 19.63% are produced from brackish water fish ponds, while 2.73% lang po yung mga others lang na po-produce sa mga pens, cage, ponds. Okay. So sa Region 3 naman po is majority or 66.09% came from brackish water ponds. Kasi po sa Region 3 marami pong mga fish ponds dyan. And then 33.73% came from marine cages. Ayan po. So sa Region 4A naman po, meron pong napoproduce na 52.87% from brackish water fish ponds. And while 21.37% from freshwater pens, 24.29% from freshwater cage, kasi mostly dyan sa 4A is marami pong mga brackish water fish ponds din, especially sa Quezon. Then meron din pong Laguna Lake and Taal Lake. So sa Region 6, mostly or majority of the produced milkfish came from brackish water fish ponds. And yung maliit na portion po is others na lang po yun. Then from Region 10, sa Region 10 naman po, majority of the produced milkfish or 87.73% came from brackish water fish ponds also. Okay, 11.64% from marine cage. And then also in Region 11, hindi pala, in Region 11 naman, marami silang napoproduce from marine cages. Maliit lang yung portion na napoproduce from brackish water fish ponds. Okay. So in terms naman po sa tilapia production, ang Region 3, particularly in Pampanga, has been the top producer from 2019 to 2021. Ayan po. Medyo nagkamali lang po, may 2022 pa, wala na po yun. 2021 lang yung pinaka-latest na data from PSA. Dahil po ang Pampanga ay mayroong malawak na total land area intended for tilapia production. Itong province na po ito ay may malawak na tilapia production or fish ponds intended for tilapia production. Second is 4A. Dahil po ito ay ang Region 4A, particularly in Batangas, kasi meron po diyang mga yung sa Taal Lake. Okay, ang third naman po with the highest tilapia production is yung Region 1 in Pangasinan. Okay, in terms po in mangrove crab, sa Pilipinas po ay mayroon tayong tatlong uri ng species of mangrove crab, namely yung Cirata, Olivacea, and Tranquibarica. Ang hindi lang po present sa Philippines ay yung Paramamusin. It is also considered as a high-value commodity in the Philippines. So ang top producing province of mangrove crab from year 2017 to 2021 ay yung Region 10, particularly in Lanao del Norte Province. Second po ay yung Pampanga. Third, ang Region 4A in Quezon Province. And fourth is yung Region 6 in Capiz. Okay, sa oyster naman po, alam po natin na meron po tayong 4 na species of oyster na kinukulture. Okay, so ang Bulacan ang nag-top sa pagdating naman po sa oyster. Second is Capiz, kasi ang Capiz ay meron po siyang sa PNB na mostly dyan po kinukulture yung ating mga oyster mussel. And third is yung Region 11, particularly in Davao del Sur. And fourth is yung Region 1 in La Union. Okay, sa mussel naman po, in terms of mussel production, gaya ng sinabi ko kanina, ang Capiz po in Region 6, ito po yung may pinakamataas na mussel production. Second is yung Cavite in Region 4E, and the third is yung Samar in Region 8. Okay, sa seaweeds naman po, ARM consistently ranked number 1, particularly in Tawi-Tawi, pagdating po sa seaweeds production. Ang pumapangalawa po ay ang Memaraupa in Palawan. The third is yung Region 9 in Zamboanga, Sibugay. Okay. So I hope nakinig po ang lahat sa aking first part ng aking presentation. Hello. Okay. So magkakaroon po tayo ng pre-test. Practice test lang po muna. You can chat in the chat box yung inyong pong sagot. Okay, our first question is this the fishery operations involving all forms? Para ma-refresh po yung inyong knowledge about the basic knowledge. Yes, ang galing na una si ma'am. Yan. So the correct answer is aquaculture. Okay, next question. The top milkfish producing province. Yan. So, ang tamang sagot ay, yes, province po, province. Okay, Pangasinan. Okay, number 3. The mangrove crab top producing province. Mangrove crab top producing province. Yeah, Lanao del Norte. Okay, si Sir Rafael. Nakakuha. Okay, number 4. Mussel top producing province. Wow, si Ma'am Jocelyn laging nauuna. Yes, Capiz ang tamang sagot. Yeah. Okay, number 5. Wow, complete si Ma'am Cherry. Okay, seaweeds top producing province. Yeah. Okay, so the correct answer is Tawi-Tawi. Okay. Okay, thank you so much for participating. So, I know nakikinig po ang lahat. Okay, next. The next part, I will discuss on the fishery administrative orders. So, before po tayo mag-proceed sa fisheries law, let us understand first the hierarchy of the laws in the Philippines. So from the pertinent provision of the 1987 Philippine Constitution to the national laws and international treaties and agreements to executive orders of the President, ayan po, to administrative orders and circulars issued by government agencies. So ayan po. Down to the role of ordinances enacted by the local government units. Pababa na po yan. So this is the hierarchy of the laws in the Philippines. So the fisheries legislations. So the Fisheries Code, or the RA 8550, or the Philippine Fisheries Code of 1998, is an act providing for the development, management, and conservation of the fisheries and aquatic resources, integrating all laws pertinent thereto and for other purposes. So ito po yung Fisheries Code 8550 in 1998, sorry. So ang RA 550 po, or the Fisheries Code, ay nagkaroon po ng implementing rules and regulations. So, okay, next. So the Agriculture and Fisheries Modernization Act of 1997, or the RA 8435. So ito naman pong RA 8435 is an act prescribing urgent related measures to modernize the agriculture and fishery sectors of the country in order to enhance their profitability, prepare said sectors for the challenges of the globalization through an adequate focus and rational delivery of necessary support services. So ito po, tandaan nyo po ito, yung AFMA, yung commonly known as AFMA of 1997. So meron din pong Presidential Decree number 704, that is in May 16, 1974, revising and consolidating all laws and decrees affecting in fishing and fisheries. So ito po yung RA, yung sa ngayon po yung RA 10654. That is an act to prevent, deter, and eliminate illegal, unreported, and unregulated fishing. Ito naman po is the amending RA number 8550, otherwise known as the Philippine Fisheries Code of 1998. Okay, so next is the Fisheries Administrative Orders. So ano nga po nga ba ang ibig sabihin ng administrative orders? At ano ang pinagkaiba nito sa circular? So ang administrative order are issuances directed to particular offices, officials, or employees for compliance on specific matters. So for example, nitong mga administrative orders, yun nga po is yung mga fisheries administrative orders, since ang BFAR po is a line agency under the Department of Agriculture. So ang DA po is the approval of lahat po mga fisheries administrative orders. So ang circular naman po are issuances that prescribe policies, rules. For example, meron pong, di ba, nakadevelop na po ng mga fisheries administrative orders. So when we're going to disseminate certain kind of information to our stakeholders, ito na po yung tinatawag ng mga department circulars, or if ever po merong mga amendment for a certain administrative orders, so magkakaroon po ng mga department circulars. Okay, FAOs na tayo. So one of the FAO is the FAO 264, or the regulation on the catching, possession, transporting, selling, trading, and exporting of mangrove crablets, juvenile mangrove crabs, and gravid mangrove crabs, sila species. So 2020 po ito na-approve ang FAO 264. So bakit nga ba po nagkaroon ng FAO 264? Kasi po there was a rampant in the gathering of mangrove crablets to megalopa stage from wild for aquaculture and exportation purposes. So dito po sa FAO 264, may mga certain prohibitions po. Nakita ko si Ma'am Jen kanina, she's aware of this FAO. So it shall be unlawful for any person, association, cooperative, partnership, or corporation to undertake the following. So ito po from A to B. Ito po yung mga prohibition under this FAO 264. Pertaining naman po ito sa crablets. So in this FAO 264, may mga exemptions din po for this FAO. So ayan po. Okay, next FAO. This pertains to seaweeds naman po. FAO number 250, series of 2014, the prohibition on the collection, harvesting, gathering, selling, and or exporting of brown algae, sargassum species, and seagrass. So these are the prohibition in this FAO 250. Okay. So yung mga babanggitin ko lang po, marami pa po itong fisheries administrative orders, pero yung nakuha ko lang po na mga FAOs are pertaining to aquaculture lang po. Aquaculture commodities. So next, for shrimp naman po is the FAO 230 series of 2009. So ito po ay allowing the importation and culture of broodstock and post-larvae of specific pathogen pre or SPF, SPR, black tiger shrimp, Penaeus monodon, and the culture of offspring thereof. Another is yung FAO 230-1. Guidelines din po ito. Ito po ang 230-1. Ito naman po ay guidelines ng FAO 230. So guidelines for the importation naman po ng ating mga SPF and SPR. So pagdating naman po sa ating mga shellfish, meron pong FAO number 209 series of 2001 that pertains to the guidelines on the production, harvesting, handling, and transportation of shellfish for implementation of the local government. Yeah, the very common is the FAO number 214, series of 2001. Yan, Code of Practice of Aquaculture. And then, nagkaroon po ng amendment, yung FAO number 214-1 po, yung sa amendment ng FAO 214. And then another FAO pertaining to aquaculture is the FAO number 218 series of 2001 that pertains to the yearly report on aquaculture projects. Another FAO is the FAO number 215 series of 2001. This pertains naman po sa mga insurance for aquaculture crops and stocks. And another FAO is the FAO number 197 series of 2000. This pertains to the rules and regulations governing the lease of public lands for fish pond development. So sa central office po ay may sarili po kaming FLA section and lease regulatory and licensing division that caters yung mga FLA concerns po. So nagkaroon po ng revised rules and regulations governing the lease of public lands for fish pond and mangrove-friendly aquaculture. That is FAO number 197-1 series of 2012. Okay. So I hope natandaan niyo po yung mga nabanggit ko na mga FAOs. So you can access all the FAO or the Fisheries Administrative Orders sa BFAR website po. Nasa online naman po yan sa bfar.da.bfar.gov.ph. Okay. So yung mga FAOs po na nabanggit ay pursuant to RA 10654 na andon po lahat po ng mga provisions under that. Lahat po pursuant po sa ating fisheries code. Okay, so the pharmacy. Bakit po nagkaroon na isama ko dito sa presentation ang pharmacy? Kasi po ang pharmacy, sila po yung nag-a-assist in the formulation of all the national policies, yung NPharmacy, for the protection, sustainable development, and management of fishery and aquatic resources. So mahalaga po ang pinaka-role ng pharmacy when it terms po sa formulation ng ating mga national policies. And they are also assisting in the preparation of the National Fisheries and Industry Development Plan or yung CNFIDP po natin. Okay. Okay, practice test. Madali lang po ito. The Philippine Fisheries Code of 1998. Okay, what's the correct answer? Okay, madali lang, di ba? RE 8550. Yes, correct. Thank you. Okay, next. An act prescribing urgent related measures to modernize the agriculture and fisheries sectors of the country in order to enhance their profitability and prepare said sectors to the challenges of the globalization through an adequate focus and rational. Okay. The correct answer is Agriculture and Fisheries or AFMA of 1997, RA 8435. Yes, wow, very good. Madali lang, number 3. Code of Practice of Aquaculture. FAO to. Okay. Tandaan niyo po, FAO number 214 is the Code of Practice of Aquaculture, series of 2001. Next question. Regulation on the catching, possession, transporting, selling, trading, and exporting of mangrove crablets, juvenile mangrove crabs, and gravid mangrove crabs. FAO, yes, alam nila, 264, series of 2020. Okay, last na. An act to prevent, deter, and eliminate. Inamend po ito ang RA 8550. Anong akto? Okay, the correct answer is RA 10654. Wow, thank you so much for participating. Okay, my last topic is on the Philippine National Standard. Yan. Okay, So ready na po kayo sa PNS or the Philippine National Standard. So pagdating naman po sa mga Philippine National Standard or the PNS, ang Bureau of Agriculture and Fisheries Standards or the BAPS po was created under the Agriculture and Fisheries Modernization Act of 1997. So ang BAPS po ay may function na mag-formulate and enforce standards of quality in the processing, preservation, packaging, labeling, importation, exportation, distribution, and advertising of agriculture, livestock, fisheries, and aquaculture products. So ang pagdating po sa mga PNS, ang nag-take lead po nito ay yung ating Bureau of Agriculture and Fisheries Standards. Ayan. Okay, so bago po tayo mag-proceed sa mga standards, kung ano po itong mga standards, let us define first what are the two types of standards. So meron pong dalawang klase ng standards. Una ay yung product standards. Ang pangalawa ay yung code of practice. Ang product standards po, ito po yung mga nagre-require ng mga quality requirements such as grading, classification for specific commodities, and agri-fisheries machineries. Yung code of practice naman po, ito po yung mga, like for example, ano po yung mga recommended na, for example, sa aquaculture, ano ang dapat na maging stocking density or recommended practices sa pagdating sa production. So these are the two types of standards. Product standards and the code of practice. So in terms po sa fisheries, here are some of the fishery standards. So ayan po, ito yung list, nakalista po yung lahat. So it was accomplished by the BAPS in collaboration with the technical working group or the multi-stakeholder composed of representatives coming from the Bureau of Fisheries and Aquatic Resources and yung mga concerned na regional fisheries offices, national centers, CIFDEC, and academe. So nakakategorize po siya, kung makikita nyo po, nakakategorize po siya sa dalawang klase ng standard. Yung EF, yan po yung mga end product standard. And yung CF, yung nasa baba po, ay mga code of practice. For example po sa code of practice ay yung good aquaculture practices or GAQP for milkfish and tilapia, yan po. And then, yeah, lahat ng mga GAQP for shrimp and crab, and then sa oyster, mussel, yung mga aquaculture commodities po, nagkaroon po ng GAQP or Code of Good Aquaculture Practices. You can access this list or downloadable naman po ito, yung mga base sa list na to sa BAPS website. Okay, so that ends my presentation. Thank you so much, everyone.
Heidi, thank you so much for your presentation tonight. So, sobrang appreciated namin ito. So, pwede ko ba itong i-share sa classroom, yung presentation mo?
Yes, ma'am. Okay lang po, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. So, actually, naka-attend ka ba? Kayo di ba yung sponsor sa CPD? Sa Milkfish?
Nifty DC po, ma'am.
Okay. Sana ng presentation doon, especially yung kay Doc. Tanay ba yun? Yung sa Milkfish.
Apo, yung kay Doc Dennis.
Sana, i-share tapos parang na lang namin. Hindi naman yun yung ipopost namin na presentation, but at least doon kami kukuha ng source kasi sobrang latest nung kanilang pinresent that time. So for the information of everyone, BFAR Central Office, they have sponsored yung CPD. So yung topic last week is about milkfish. So yun yung mga latest na pinresent about the milkfish industry. So, wala pa kaming copies noon, but Dr. Jobert Toledo, who is one of the examiners, nag-present din siya. So, sige, later on sa ating Google Classroom, ipopost ko yung kaniyang topic. Topic lang ha, wala kami copy ng presentation niya para mahanapan nyo na rin ng reference and for further readings also. Okay, so please accomplish the attendance form and evaluation form. Please. Ako yung nag-aano na sa inyo, nagpi-please na. So, dear, thank you so much. Baka meron kayong question, guys. Okay, ma'am, for clarification lang po, yung top producing provinces po ba with certain species, example, mud crab is may specific na species na mud crab o collated species po siya.
Okay, so pagdating naman po sa production ng mud crab sa PSA po ay yung mga mud crab na na-mention, ayun po yung mga kinukulture, yung 4 po na present sa Philippines, yung intended for production purposes. Ay, yung 3 pala, kasi yung isa, yung Paramamusin, wala yan sa Philippines. So yung 3 species na yun. Hindi siya naka-specify per species, naka-generic lang siya as mud crab. And na-access siya sa PSA website.
Okay. So ayun, clue, pag-aralan nyo rin si mud crab kasi na-revive ngayon yung mud crab program. Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, meron na sila ngayon tinayong mga mud crab hatchery. So, pag-aralan nyo din, baka lang naman lalabas. Okay, any clarification pa? Meron kayong gustong itanong? Magpo-post ako again ha ng mga materials, pero for now talaga kasi merong mga bagong updates. Wala kaming copy noon nung mga during our seminar or webinar pala, pero I'll try. So, pwedeng pa-open ako ng cam. Div, meron ka bang ma-share na tips sa aming mga students during exam? Baka meron lang.
So sa tips, 2015 kasi ako nag-take ng board exam, so self-review lang din. So mostly that time, 2015, yung mga lumalabas ay yung mga, yung RA 8550, then yung mga FAOs, then yung sa aquaculture, I'm speaking of the aquaculture. Sa aquaculture, then yung production data, yun. Yung mga provinces na or region na may mataas na ganong production. Yun lang matandaan ko, ma'am, kasi 2015 pa ako nag-take. I don't know kung recently, ano na yung, and PNS, nandyan din yung mga nasa PNS. Basahin nyo na lang po, downloadable naman po yan sa BAPS na website, yung content ng mga PNS pertaining to fisheries.
Yes. Magbasa talaga, hindi kayo umasa sa mga materials na binibigay. Kasi, for example, yung mga binigay sa inyo na materials from the different groups, medyo outdated na yon. Same din with us. We try din naman na i-update, pero it's better talaga na magbasa kayo. Magbasa kasi hindi natin alam recent yung mga ilalabas na mga top questions, very recent. As in yung sinasabi sa inyo lagi, magbasa, huwag kayong mag-rely dun sa ating mga provide na materials. Kasi baka meron kaming na-miss at kayo meron palang nakita na hindi namin alam. Diba? So, ayan. Thank you so much. Guys, pwede kayo mag-turn on ng cam so that we can take a picture with our speaker. Dali, paano ba ito? Ayan. Ayan. So, 1, 2, 3. Ayan. Div, again, thank you so much. Cloud, pwede ka na mag-stop recording. Ayan, Div, thank you again. Yung certificate, may sisend
yes,
lang ha.
Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone.